Alright guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to go over a story titled, My Girlfriend Bit Me and is being charged with D-word violence. And guys, let me tell you, this video, in my opinion, is definitely one that every guy should watch before they start dating. This story is one that every guy should hear before they get involved with a gal. This story is all about a guy whose girlfriend, who's obviously unstable and got a lot of issues, completely went nuts, attacked him, all sorts of things, and of course was threatening him to go to the police and all that, and tried. And you're going to see here, guys, this guy got this close. I mean this close. That he could have been busted himself, gone to jail, all that, criminal record and all that. But fortunately, he's smart enough and quick enough that he was able to turn the tables, and she gets busted. Thank the Lord, and charged and all that. But darn close. So for all the white knights out there, all the nice guys that think it's a great idea to get involved with those damaged girls, those girls that were those bad boy guys and that were hurt, or maybe even physical altercations happen and they're trying to save her, think again. It is a bad idea, and they can turn on you like that. And it is not worth having a criminal record, being attacked, or even worse, being falsely, being dragged off to prison. But some guys just don't know any better. Gotta learn the freaking hard way. So if there's ever a video you guys should share with your friends. And you all, I'm sure every one of you guys has that friend, is that nice guy, white knight, who just doesn't get it. He should watch this video. So, I don't want to say too much because I want to get into his very important read. Starts off, he says here, so, this happened last Sunday after the Super Bowl. This story is 4 years old, guys, so bear with me here. My girlfriend and I went to her father's house to watch it because they're both big Patriots fans. After the game, she was pretty upset and intoxicated. I drove home because the roads were slick and she was drunk. During the car ride, she complained about how slow I was driving and turned into a stupid drunk argument. Oh, what a great girl. She's one of those. When we got back to my apartment, she passed out on the couch and I played video games for about an hour. When I tried to move her to my bed, the argument picked back up and she turned into a shouting match. He drives her home, her drunk ass home, in his apartment, and now she's freaking out, starting a shouting match. I'm sure his neighbors in the apartment complex love that. Before I go any further, I want to explain that she was in a bad relationship in the past, abusive, and I truly think she had a flashback. Who gives a shit, Mr. White Knight? Look at the shit she's bringing into your life. It's not your job to fix these girls, guys. It's not your job to save them. We have one life, and you gotta take care of yourself, okay? And you know in all these stories, things don't end well for these white knights, as you'll see here. Also, I have to add, about a month ago, she began taking antidepressants, but hadn't been able to get back to her therapist for a refill and hadn't taken them in a week. Oh, great, more signs. So, she has the issues with the past boyfriends. He wants to save her. Antidepressants. Great. Anyway, she got in my face and started goading me and to hit her. I knew it was getting out of hand and tried to get out of the apartment for a second. She started yelling that I pushed her when I left. She locked me out and started saying she was going to call the cops. Oh great, aside from the screaming and yelling, disturbing the neighbors to cause them to have a legitimate complaint to the landlord, now she's attacking him, trying to get him to hurt her, and she's threatening to call the cops. This is what you get, Mr. White Knight. She let me finally in. She finally let me back in and found my laptop was covered in vodka, and she was screaming at the top of her lungs that she was going to have me arrested. Eventually, she started hitting, kicking, and biting me. I was bitten on both wrists when I grabbed her hands, and then on my back after I pushed her. I pushed her away and tried to get her and her things out. She found her phone and called her mom, telling her to call the police and screaming that I was attacking her. I knew I was about to be royally screwed, so I started recording on my phone right after I called my mom and asked her to come over to the apartment for a witness. What a great girlfriend. You see, guys, Look at all this shit he's dealing with. A young guy who should frankly be having better things going on in his life, but he's picking up the damaged girl. Does this sound very appealing to you guys? For you relationship guys out there, does it make any sense to get involved with a gal like this? Because it's not like he obviously knows that she's got issues. He obviously knows that she has a past with guys like that. And obviously she's with him, the nice guy, because probably she wants a 180. You think girls like this are going to suddenly snap back into it and be okay? Maybe she generally has issues. Fine. It's not your job to deal with it. Life is short. And I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but I also know that I do have guys that stumble upon my channel for the first time. I know I have guys that are kind of on the fence about what I talk about. They get some of the things I talk about, but they also disagree with some of the other things. They think they're not quite sure whether I'm maybe being a little too harsh or exaggerating. Right here. Right here's an example. It goes on. It says, when the cops arrived, she was in the parking lot and throwing up. They knocked on my door and basically told me she was accusing me of D-word violence. I showed them the bite marks and my laptop covered in alcohol, and they arrested her. I told them the situation and basically begged them not to take her to jail and just let her mom take her home. Smack! You nice guy, you Mr. White Knight. No, she needs to be taken to jail. This is the girl that was raised in holy hell, screaming and yelling, causing a disturbance in your apartment, kicked you out of your apartment, jackass, making threats towards you, and was threatening to have you arrested. And you, if you didn't make a recording and didn't have those marks, it could have been him being dragged away in cuffs, him getting with a criminal record, him maybe going to prison. And he's telling them not to arrest her. You got to be out of your damn mind. You see what all this nice guy programming guys out there does? They said it wasn't up to me and photographed my injuries and hauled her to jail with a 4th-degree assault charge. Ha ha, lady. She's really not a bad person. Smack. She just has problems and she's been working on it. I really care about her and want to help her in any way that I can. Smack. Well, she obviously doesn't care about you, Mr. Nice Guy. See what I'm talking about, guys? Is it worth it? Is it really worth what could happen? It was this close. She went freaking crazy on him. He says here, what are my options and what can I expect the outcome to be for her? Now he goes in through a couple of little minor edits or updates. He says, just to clarify, I have no intentions of getting back together with this girl. When I said I want to help her any way I can, I didn't mean to imply I don't want her to face any consequences. I more meant that I'm hoping the consequences she faces are therapeutic and she gets help. I don't see jail doing much good for her. Okay, fine. Hallelujah. Well, he has no intention of getting back with her. Okay, good. Maybe his father came along and smacked some sense into him, or maybe he read enough comments to smack some sense into him. But you know what? In my opinion, yeah, she does need help. I will say that. And it shouldn't be for the taxpayer to pay. Well, let me backtrack there. If there's one thing the taxpayer, I'm sure wouldn't mind paying a little bit, is to have her ass behind bars. That's what I think she deserves. I think she needs a lesson. A tough lesson. Because let's say the situation was reversed. What would happen to him? You know he'd be behind bars, right? And she shouldn't get off easy and just go to therapy or be put on some pills or go to the loony bin for a little bit. Oh, no. She should be behind bars. False accusations, attacking him, all that. What if it was reversed? We all know how this would go. He also says, I've just received a letter from the prosecuting attorney's office. They apparently seem like they will give credence to my opinion on my ex, even consider it in their sentencing. I will find out for sure on Monday when their office opens. Hopefully I can influence this case in the proper direction. By the way, thank you for all the advice from everyone. Okay, well, I'll give my advice here in case he needs a little refreshing here. In no way, shape, or form should he get back with this girl, regardless what happens, whether she goes off to the loony bin, off to jail for a while, or gets away scot-free. Obviously, she's going somewhere. He should not in any way get involved with her ever again. Cut all ties completely. Whatever stuff she may have in that apartment of his, he needs to hand over to her family. He needs to talk to an attorney right away to let his attorney know exactly what happened, all the details to protect him. That's what I think. And this guy needs to do some serious soul searching here about his nice guy white knight behavior, okay? Trying to save that girl, that damaged girl. It's ridiculous. See, guys, you know from when I read this, how different this story could have gone. All because you want to help out that damaged girl. You see the damage that all these stupid movies and TV shows cause? Now, for some updates. Or excuse me, for some comments. Now, I'm going to go through a few comments, and one of the comments will have him responding with a little more information on what's going on. One guy says, you need to give some serious thought to what your life would look like if the responding officers had believed her instead of you, because that is exactly what could happen next time. I get that you care about her, but realize that she was trying to send you to jail. Go to court, tell them the truth, and hope she will get some sort of court-ordered accountability. Amen. Could have gone very differently. Another guy says here, stop making excuses for her. Your girlfriend is an abuser. If you continue to stay with her, you have to expect more abuse and the possibility of being arrested. Imagine next time she's taken seriously. She needs to get help, and she can only get that if she's locked up and forced into it. Correct. And the thing is, people tend to stick to their habits. It wouldn't surprise me in the least if this guy goes through this experience, doesn't learn anything, and down the road, he ends up with a girl just like this, except next time, it could be worse. It could be him being arrested and taken away in the patrol car. Another guy here says, I'm sorry to tell you, but regardless of her past relationship, you are now the one in an abusive relationship. And for what is worth, anyone that gets out... Let me say this again. And for what it's worth, anyone that gets out so out of hand and they are destroying property, threatening accusations of violence, and physically attacking you is someone you need to distance yourself from immediately. It is up to you to state whether they want to charge her or not. It is up to the state to charge her or not. You should focus on getting as far away as possible. This won't be the last time this happens. Correct. Like I said, get all her shit, give it to her family, cut off all communication ties. End of story. And don't buy her whole tears and crying bullshit when she eventually reaches out to this guy. And the last one, this is from a guy really laying down some dose of reality, and the guy writing this providing an update. He says here, dude, you are way too nice. Yes, jail probably won't help her, but neither will you. She needs serious mental evaluation and treatment. This is not a drunk episode. If I was you, man, I'd run, and I'd run fast as far as I could in the opposite direction of this chick. Consult with a lawyer and make sure they have knowledge of the situation and document it while it's fresh in your mind, so if she ever tries to file suit against you for any reason in the future, you have your butt covered. Please, people can change, most don't. Get the F out. And the guy who wrote this says, he says, I've taken the preventive steps to protect myself aside from seeking an EPO and hiring an attorney at this point. Documentation from doctors, police, and my own video evidence should keep me safe beyond a shadow of a doubt. I'm basically waiting until the arraignment and hoping she seeks help before I drop any bombshells. I'd rather not go to scorched earth for her sake, but the option is available. Okay, Mr. Nice Guy, I'd go scorched earth because, again, she was threatening to try to have him arrested. It'd be one thing if she was throwing a tantrum and making a lot of noise and all that, but she not only was getting violent with him, all the biting and all the scratching and the punching and all that, but was threatening to have it, and it could have happened so easily. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, was telling the cops that he was doing all those things. Thank God he had a recording. You bet your ass. If it was me, not that this would be me, but if it was me, I'd go full scorched earth. He says, regardless of the outcome, I won't be dating her or even seek a face-to-face relationship outside of the courtroom. Thank the Lord, brother. My eyes have been open. I still want what's best for her as long as it doesn't harm anyone else, me especially. Yeah, okay, Mr. Nice Guy. Well, anyhow, guys, like I said in the beginning, if there's a story that you should share with any of your friends of these Mr. Nice Guy, White Knight, Captain Save-A you-know-what types, and what could potentially go wrong if they get involved with one of these damaged gals, right here. Send it to them. Definitely do it. I think this story should be mandatory. Either my video or just reading this story, what can happen. But anyhow, guys, for those that are watching on the fence, by being the nice guy and all, look what could happen. God, take care of yourself. You cannot be that guy that... And it's amazing how the Disney prince, the hero, the savior, is just told over and over and over again in all the movies and TV shows. You guys have seen it. You know what I'm talking about. And the damage that could potentially happen. This girl, yeah, professional help, but I also think she needs some time in the slammer. That'll really teach her a lesson what can happen, because there has to be consequences to actions. Going off to just simply like I guess, the loony bin for a while, where she's medicated and in group therapy, or I don't know what, that's only going to go so far. But if she's actually behind bars, whether that's will help her rehabilitate, if you will, or not, I don't know. But she needs to be punished, essentially, for what happened here. And this guy needs to learn. Otherwise, he'll do it again. I hope I'm wrong about this guy, but something tells me that he may end up doing the same thing with another type of gal down the road, because guys tend to often date the same type of girls over and over again until it gets too bad. Just the way women tend to date the same type of guy over and over again until it gets too bad. Or they just keep doing it anyway. But, alright guys, that is it for today. It's a quick one. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. And guys, let me know if you've ever known anybody like this in a situation like this. I'd like to hear about it in the comment section. Also, guys, if you got a great story you'd like to share, by all means, email it to me, strongsuccessfulmale@gmail.com. Just be sure to write out very well, make it easy for me to read, and I'll cover it down the road. And also, this goes for any really good articles or stories. Make sure you include the link as well. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.